50 people showed up to a webinar. None of them were his own audience. He didn't run a single ad. He didn't post for months to build a following. He borrowed an audience that already existed for free. 3 days later, 33 of those people were paying customers, and he had collected $13,160 in cash. This is a real client of mine, a real estate coach named Austin Rankin. And the reason this worked had almost nothing to do with how many people were in the actual room. You see, most coaches think that they are one big audience away from real money. They're not. Austin just proved it with 50 people in the room that he didn't even own. So in the next few minutes, I'm actually going to break down the exact machine we built behind those 50 people. The borrowed audience, the $97 front door, and then the bootcamp we ran for the buyers, the offer that turned that free training into recurring revenue. So steal this whole entire thing here, and let's get into it. So let me go ahead and set the table here. Austin coaches real estate agents, and he is elite at what he does. But like almost every coach I work with, his problem was never the coaching. It was the distribution. He did not have 100,000 followers. He did not have a giant email list. He had a great offer and not enough eyeballs on it. Now, here is where most coaches get stuck forever. They decide the next move is to go build an audience, post every day for a year, chase the algorithm, and wait. Well, look, Austin did the opposite. He found someone who already had the audience. There was a brokerage, and for this video, I won't mention the name, but Austin had already had a great relationship there already. They came to him wanting to, do something cool together. Instead of just a guest appearance, we had an idea. Why don't we run a full webinar for their agents? So the brokerage blasted it out to their entire network, their list, their credibility. And about 50 agents or so showed up live in the Zoom on a Wednesday at 1 p.m. afternoon. No ad spin, no funnel reminder, just a partner with a warm list pointing it directly to Austin. Now, this is the first lesson, and I want you to sit with it. You do not need your own audience. You just need access to one. Somewhere in your niche right now, there is a person or maybe a company that already has the exact people you want. And they will promote you if you make it worth their while. Either an affiliate cut, a revenue share, or a real collaboration. Go find them. That is way faster than building from zero every single time. Now, here is where it gets good, and honestly where I think that most people probably would have blown it. 50 people in a room is not a lot. Now, if you are thinking like a creator, you panic. You think 50 people, that's nothing. I need 500. I need 5,000, matter of fact. More leads, more leads, more leads. Well, look, that is the belief that keep coaches broke. The idea that the answer is always more traffic. It's not. The answer is what happens behind the traffic. Because what a creator would do is they'll take those 50 people, they'll do some sort of free training, they'll pitch their $5,000 program at the end, and maybe a couple people will book a call, and everyone else will just kind of disappear. The whole entire thing rests on one ask, and honestly at the most expensive price to people who just met you. That's not a funnel. That is honestly just a coin flip. An operator does something completely different. An operator builds a ladder. See, you don't ask a 50 or so barely warm audience to make a $5,000 decision. You give them a small first yes, and then a bigger yes, and then the bigger one, but only to the people who already raised their hand. Same 50 people, completely different machine. And that machine is the entire reason why 33 of them bought instead of just 3. So let me go ahead and walk you through exactly what we built. The first rung is the webinar itself. And I wrote the entire thing word for word, the script and the slides. This was not Austin writing it. The script was actually built on the high proven converting webinar principles. The same principles that I use on every single launch. You make one clear promise. You get small agreements the whole way through. And then you transition into an offer that feels like an obvious next step, not a pitch bolted on at the end. And, by the way, I turned this entire ladder into a complete one-pager that you can actually follow. And that is linked in the description below. Everything from the borrowed audience, every rung, the price, the sequence, it's all free. The link's in the description. Go ahead and grab it now so you can copy this exact structure for your very own offer. Okay, so rung 2. At the end of the webinar, Austin does not pitch a $5,000 program. You see, that would be a straight cold ask. Instead, he points everyone to a $97 a month community. Now, that is a small yes, low risk, easy decision, but it's real. There's actual content there, and it comes with 2 fast action bonuses. The most important, number 1, a 5-day boot camp, and also an AI tool that I built called Ask Austin that they can use at any time. Now, these bonuses are not fluff. They are actually the bridge to the big sell. So watch how this works. 19 people bought the $97 community live in real time on the webinar on Wednesday. Self-serve, no calls, no chasing. 6 more came on Thursday. So 25 new paying members from 1 borrowed audience. Now, rung 3. This is the part I really want you to hear because it is the smartest move in the whole entire funnel. The 5-day boot camp. On the surface, it looks like a challenge funnel, the kind everyone runs. But here is the biggest difference. Austin only runs it for the people who have already bought the $97 community, not cold traffic, real buyers. Now, think about why that is so powerful. See, everybody in the bootcamp has already paid him. They already said yes once. They already trust him enough to pull out a card. So when you spend 5 days delivering real value to a room full of buyers, you're not convincing skeptics. You're deepening a trust with people who already are leaning in. And then on the last day of the bootcamp, that is where the real offer comes. The flagship offer, Austin's Academy, normally $5,000, and he frames it as a way every good webinar should frame the close. If you book a call with me today to join, you get it for half off, $2,500. And that's the whole ladder. Borrowed audience, free webinar, to a $97 yes, to a full bootcamp full of buyers, to a half off offer on the thing that actually changes the business. Every single rung makes the next one easier. Nobody ever gets asked for $5,000 cold, ever. So let us talk about the machine that you need to actually produce here. 25 people into a $97 community. Now that is recurring revenue every single month. That didn't exist on Tuesday. 6 people said yes to the flagship $2,500 offer out of the 8 that booked. And here's the detail that I really love. $7,500 of what was collected on Wednesday morning was from the people who had gone through this previous bootcamp before this new webinar even went live. The machine was printing. The machine was printing before the event even started. Add it up. Across Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Austin collected $13,160 in cash and brought in 33 new people into his world. We're looking to finish the month around $15,460, and $13,000 of that came from 3 days from 50 people he did not own. Look, I have the screenshots. This is not a projection or a someday number. This is a real coach, a real borrowed audience in a 3-day window. I'll go ahead and leave some of the screenshots here so you can see them. And what I need you to do is I need you to compare that to the creator version of this. 50 people, 1 free training, 1 cold $5,000 pitch. That coach closes maybe 1 or 2 calls and then calls it a flop. Same room, the only thing that changed is the machine behind it. So here's what I actually want you to take away from this. Austin did not win because he had a massive audience. He won because he did not need one. He borrowed 50 people and built a ladder good enough that a third of them bought. So if you're sitting there right now convinced your problem is reach, that you just need more followers, you need more leads, more eyeballs before the money ever even shows up, I want you to be honest with yourself. You see, you probably do not have a traffic problem. You probably have a conversion problem. You are talking to a few people who show up and then asking them for too much, too fast, with nothing in between. Fix the latter first, build the small yeses, build the bridge, build the offer that only goes to the people who already raised their hand. Do that, and 50 borrowed people can become $13,000 in 3 days. Now, go get access to one audience. Just one. A brokerage, a bigger creator, a partner with a list. You bring the machine, they bring the people, and you guys can just split the upside. That is a business you can run on purpose instead of just praying that the algorithm finally notices you. Now, here's the thing about that bootcamp. The one we only ran for buyers. The reason it worked is because everyone had already paid. They were warm. The last time I ran a challenge to a cold audience instead, I actually lost $10,000 of borrowed money. It is one of the most expensive lessons that I have ever learned. And I broke that entire thing down in the next video, actually linked in the description below. So go ahead and watch that before you ever run any sort of challenge funnel on your own. And I will see you